Since aviation's dawn, engineers have dared to shrink dimensions and create machines so small they seem challenging even for the skies. These minimal aircraft conquer not through speed or size, but through ingenuity, charm, and the courage of those who built them. Today we'll discover impressive examples showing how far miniaturization can go. But the question remains, how did tiny homemade aircraft become a global phenomenon? In the United States, an experimental kit managed to surprise by putting a real jet aircraft in amateur hands. The ViperJet was born from the idea of offering the thrill of piloting a turbine-powered aircraft in reduced scale, with seating for 2 people in tandem. This bold proposal contrasted sharply with simpler experimentals of the era, bringing military-grade power to garage builders. The Mark II version features the General Electric J85 turbojet, the same engine that powered early Learjets, producing around 2,850 pounds of thrust. Earlier versions used the less powerful Turbomeca Marboré, but the J85 transformed this kit into a legitimate fighter-like experience. This absurd power allows vigorous takeoffs and cruise speeds around 400 miles per hour. Construction uses composite materials and aluminum reinforcements throughout, ensuring strength without excessive weight. The swept wings and fighter-like canopy create an unmistakable silhouette that stops crowds at any airfield. Empty weight typically runs around 2,000 pounds, though this varies considerably depending on avionics and equipment choices builders make. The 28-foot wingspan places it in a compact category for jet aircraft, yet performance rivals much larger executive jets. Kit prices started around $180,000, but total project costs often reached $500,000, once engine, avionics, and builder assistance were included. While this represented the pinnacle of home-built jet ambition, aviation history had already proven that legendary designs could emerge from much simpler concepts. In the 70s, engineer Jim Bede presented one of aviation's most ambitious home-built projects. His goal was creating an affordable, small, sporty airplane that resembled military fighters, but remained within amateur builder capabilities. The Bede BD-5 became one of history's most famous kit aircraft, though also one of its most problematic due to chronic engine issues that plagued the program. The propeller-driven BD-5B typically uses 60 to 70 horsepower engines, though finding reliable power remained the design's Achilles heel. Multiple engine suppliers failed, from Hearth to various other manufacturers, leaving many builders with incomplete projects. When properly powered, the aircraft achieves around 200 miles per hour, while the rare jet version reaches 300 miles per hour. The BD-5B features a 21.5-foot wingspan, while the jet variant spans just 17 feet. Empty weight stays around 355 pounds for propeller versions, with maximum weights near 950 pounds. These tiny dimensions created a fighter-like cockpit experience, with pilots lying semi-reclined under a large bubble canopy. Over 5,000 kits were sold, but few were completed due to engine problems and company bankruptcy. Those that fly require skilled pilots, as the aircraft offers little margin for error. The jet version holds the Guinness record as world's smallest jet, and appeared in the James Bond film Octopussy. Despite its troubles, the BD-5 inspired countless future designs and proved that small aircraft could capture imaginations worldwide. While this icon defined what experimental aviation could achieve, modern engineers were quietly perfecting ways to make jet power accessible to amateur builders. The SubSonex JSX-2 represents a milestone in making jet-powered flight accessible to amateur builders. Created by Sonex Aircraft, this single-seat kit was designed for passionate builders who dreamed of commanding turbine power without needing executive jet budgets. With futuristic lines and minimal proportions, the aircraft quickly gained attention for bringing legitimate jet performance to experimental aviation. The heart of this design is the PBSTJ-100 engine, a Czech-built turbine producing 247 pounds of thrust. This compact and reliable power plant pushes the jet to maximum speeds of 265 miles per hour, with comfortable cruise speeds around 240 miles per hour. Performance impressive for any aircraft, let alone one you can build in your garage. Maximum takeoff weight stays around 1,200 pounds, keeping the aircraft within ultralight jet categories that simplify operations and training requirements. The 18-foot wingspan and sleek profile create an unmistakable presence at any airfield. Unlike earlier experimental jets, the SubSonex offers relatively predictable flying characteristics and comprehensive builder support. The aircraft requires type rating training due to its turbojet engine, but Sonex developed innovative programs using two-seat jet gliders to prepare pilots safely. Kit prices remain reasonable compared to other jet projects, making turbine-powered flight achievable for dedicated builders. This represents the first truly practical home-built jet program, proving that advanced technology could be democratized. But while Americans perfected accessible jet technology, Mediterranean engineers were creating something that would make airshow crowds stop and stare. Greek engineer George Iliopoulos created the Archon SF-1 to bring fighter jet aesthetics to civilian aviation, without the complexity of actual military aircraft. Designed and built in Greece, this kit offers the visual impact of a modern stealth fighter, while remaining within ultralight regulations. The idea was creating an affordable recreational aircraft that delivers the impression and feeling of commanding a military fighter. The aircraft structure uses painted aluminum construction with blind rivets and composite fairings throughout. Kits arrive with pre-painted, pre-cut, and pre-drilled aluminum sheets, making construction more approachable for first-time builders. The standard engine mount accommodates various Rotax engines, typically the 65 horsepower configuration, though builders can upgrade to 100 horsepower for enhanced performance. Maximum speed reaches 124 miles per hour with the standard 65 horsepower engine, while never exceed speed climbs to 155 miles per hour. Empty weight stays around 440 pounds, with maximum takeoff weight reaching 711 pounds. These specifications place it squarely within ultralight categories while maintaining convincing fighter-like aesthetics. The 24-foot wingspan and angular lifting surfaces create an unmistakable military appearance that stops traffic at any airfield. Features include electrically actuated retractable landing gear and pushrod flight controls that provide responsive handling characteristics. The aircraft demonstrates forgiving flight qualities despite its aggressive looks, making it accessible to pilots transitioning from conventional aircraft. While Greeks mastered military aesthetics with conventional power, American visionaries were challenging every convention of aircraft design with revolutionary concepts. The Quickie Q2 emerged as a two-seat evolution of Burt Rutan's revolutionary single-seat Quickie, produced by Quickie Aircraft Corporation with significant input from Canadian designer Gary Laguerre. This aircraft challenged conventional thinking, with its tandem wing design featuring one forward wing and one rear wing instead of the typical main wing and horizontal stabilizer arrangement that dominated aviation. The forward wing, or canard, carries approximately 60% of the total lift while housing full span elevators for pitch control. This configuration provides positive lift from both wing surfaces, unlike conventional aircraft, where the tailplane typically produces negative lift. The unusual design promised inherently safe stall characteristics, as the canard would stall first, automatically lowering the nose to recover airspeed. Powered by a 64 horsepower Volkswagen air-cooled engine, the Q2 could be built with either conventional tail dragger landing gear or optional tricycle configuration called the Tri-Q. Maximum takeoff weight reached 1,200 pounds, while the design's efficiency promised excellent fuel economy and cross-country performance for its modest power requirement. The aircraft demonstrated impressive capabilities, but suffered operational challenges that required careful management. If the canard surface became contaminated with water, ice, or insects, it lost approximately 25% of its lifting capability, requiring higher approach speeds and careful weather planning. This sensitivity to contamination meant pilots needed thorough training and weather awareness to operate safely. While this revolutionary design changed how engineers thought about wing placement, European designers were pursuing an entirely different obsession with ultimate efficiency. French aeronautical engineer Michel Colomban, famous for creating the tiny twin-engined Cri-Cri, designed the MC30 Luciole to demonstrate that aircraft could be both economical and enjoyable. Named Luciole, meaning firefly, this ultra-lightweight design proves that sophisticated engineering can deliver remarkable efficiency without sacrificing flying pleasure or structural integrity. The aircraft features mixed construction using wood, plywood, metal, foam, and glass, reinforced plastic, and a carefully optimized combination. Cantilever wings use foam ribs with 1 mm plywood skins, wrapped in resin-bonded glass tissue for strength and weather protection. This construction method keeps empty weight to just 214 pounds while maintaining excellent structural characteristics. Standard power comes from a Briggs & Stratton 5 twin 4-stroke engine driving a two-bladed ground-adjustable propeller. Maximum speed reaches 137 miles per hour, while cruise consumption averages only 1.2 gallons per hour at 93 miles per hour. This exceptional fuel efficiency makes it one of the most economical aircraft ever designed for recreational flying. An electric variant called the MC30 Firefly uses a 26 horsepower electric motor with battery power, achieving the same top speed with 55 minutes endurance per charge. This forward-thinking approach demonstrates how traditional ultralight concepts can embrace modern technology while maintaining the core philosophy of efficient, economical flight. But while French engineers prioritized ultimate economy, American garage culture was proving that anyone with determination could build their flying dreams. In the 1970s, Maury Hummel transformed his passion for aviation into something accessible to any enthusiast by creating the Hummelbird. Rather than depending on large factories or complex manufacturing, he conceived plans that could be built in ordinary garages using basic tools and skills. This approach democratized aircraft construction for thousands of builders who never imagined they could create a flying machine. The design centers around the half Volkswagen engine, a clever adaptation that literally uses half of a standard automotive Volkswagen engine block. This conversion typically produces 32 to 45 horsepower while offering the reliability and parts availability of automotive components. The innovative engine choice showed that creativity could transform common parts into exceptional flying power plants. All metal construction uses conventional aluminum techniques, familiar to most amateur builders, while the compact dimensions make hangar storage affordable and workshop construction practical. Empty weight stays around 310 pounds, with maximum weights reaching 550 pounds. Wingspans vary between 18 and 21 feet, depending on builder preferences and intended use. Maximum speed reaches 145 miles per hour, impressive performance for such modest power and simple construction. The aircraft requires skilled piloting and offers little margin for error, but rewards competent pilots with delightful flying characteristics and exceptional fuel economy. Despite its tiny size, the Hummelbird does not qualify as an ultralight in the United States due to weight and speed specifications. While Americans pioneered garage aviation culture, Eastern European engineers were taking minimalism to extraordinary new levels. In the Czech Republic, the Spacek SD-1 Minisport emerged during the post-communist era as an answer to making personal aviation affordable and accessible. The project aimed to offer pilots a minimal aircraft that could be built in small workshops while maintaining structural quality and flight safety. Its compact appearance and reduced proportions attracted attention throughout Europe as the ultimate expression of aeronautical minimalism. Power comes from compact engines like the Spacek SE-33 or Herth F-33, delivering approximately 33 horsepower. This modest power allows maximum speeds around 137 miles per hour while maintaining excellent fuel economy. The design philosophy emphasized doing more with less, proving that sophisticated flight experiences don't require massive power or complex systems. Maximum takeoff weight reaches just 530 pounds, reinforcing its role as a truly personal aircraft. This low weight allows operations from short grass strips and reduces infrastructure requirements dramatically. The lightness also contributes to gentle handling characteristics that make it suitable for pilots transitioning from heavier aircraft or those seeking relaxed flying experiences. The 20-foot wingspan balances stability with maneuverability, while traditional wood and fabric construction keeps costs minimal and repairs straightforward. This construction method allows builders in remote areas to complete projects using locally available materials and skills. The design proves that traditional techniques still have important roles in modern aviation when properly applied. But if this represented ultimate structural simplicity, neighboring countries had engineers pursuing entirely different approaches to economical flight. In 1970s Poland, Roman Janowski created an accessible motor glider that combined silent soaring flight with practical engine assistance. The Janowski J6 Fregata features simple lines and long wings designed to offer genuine glider experiences with added autonomy. The concept united two aviation philosophies: taking off under power, then shutting down to glide efficiently using natural lift sources. The most common power plant uses a Honda BF-52 automotive engine converted for aeronautical service, producing approximately 52 horsepower. This adapted automotive solution kept costs reasonable while providing reliable power for takeoffs and emergencies. The engine installation allows in-flight shutdown and restart, giving pilots flexibility to choose powered flight or silent gliding as conditions warrant. Maximum speed stays around 115 miles per hour, appropriate for an aircraft optimized for soaring efficiency rather than speed. The long wings excel at finding and using thermal currents, allowing extended flights with minimal fuel consumption. This performance makes it attractive to flight schools and glider clubs seeking practical training aircraft that don't require ground launch equipment. Maximum takeoff weight reaches 970 pounds, while the generous 41-foot wingspan provides excellent lift characteristics and gentle stall behavior. These proportions create an aircraft that excels in calm conditions while remaining manageable for pilots learning soaring techniques. The design demonstrates how thoughtful compromises can create aircraft that serve specialized missions exceptionally well. However, long before all these innovations emerged, one tiny aircraft had already shown the world that flight could truly fit in anyone's budget. The Tipsy Nipper, T-66, emerged in post-war Belgium when engineer Ernest Oscar Tips recognized that aviation needed to become more accessible and affordable for ordinary people. His goal was creating a tiny airplane that would fit within beginner pilot budgets while maintaining acceptable performance for sport flying. The Stark Stamo 1400A engine, derived from Volkswagen automotive components, provided 45 reliable horsepower. With empty weight of just 412 pounds and maximum weight of 661 pounds, the aircraft demonstrated that effective flight didn't require massive structure or power. The 19-foot, 8-inch wingspan created an aircraft that looked more like a flying toy than a serious airplane, yet it proved that properly designed small aircraft could be both safe and enjoyable. Construction used welded steel tube fuselages covered with fabric, while wings employed traditional wood frame techniques. This classic combination reduced manufacturing costs while allowing small repair shops and individual builders to maintain and modify aircraft without specialized facilities. The approach made aviation accessible to flying clubs and individuals who couldn't afford larger, more complex aircraft. The design's impact extended far beyond Belgium, with licensed versions appearing in the United Kingdom and inspiring countless other minimalist designs. At aviation events, its diminutive appearance sparked curiosity and laughter, but watching it fly convinced observers that small could indeed be beautiful and practical. The Tipsy Nipper proved that aviation's future might belong not to ever larger and more complex machines, but to simple, affordable designs that returned flying to its fundamental joy of leaving the ground. 10 extraordinary garage-built aircraft that redefined what individuals could achieve in aviation. Each story proves passion trumps massive budgets every time. Which builder's story inspired you most? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Love these incredible builds? Smash that like button. Want exclusive aviation content? Hit subscribe now, share with fellow builders and dreamers, watch the videos that appear here on the screen, and continue with us. Bye-bye.